Hi, I'm David Sharp. This is my wife, Tamara Sharp, and we'd like to tell you a little bit about the chapel, a church that we began in 1999 right here in Ormond Beach. We had spent a lot of years in church ministry, and God put it on our heart to start something here in this community. So we kind of stepped out in faith with no real idea what God was going to do, just a few people gathering together on a Sunday morning. And all these years later, we're loving it. God has blessed our church. God has blessed this community. The chapel is a church family here really for anybody and everybody. It's a big deal for us that our doors are open for anybody who wants to come. I shared this analogy in a church service recently about our church being like Cajun gumbo. We lived in Southwest Louisiana for 3.5 years. And sometimes you'd go to these Cajun ladies' house and you'd put the ladle down in the gumbo and you weren't sure what was going to come up. Because sometimes there were some things down in there you wouldn't eat on their own. But when you mixed it all together, it ended up being this amazing gumbo. And that's how the Church of Jesus Christ should be. Anybody, no matter who you are, what you're going through in life, even what you think, what you believe, how you dress, how you vote, none of that really matters. When you walk in the doors of the church, God blends us all together into one big messed up pot of gumbo, and we lift our hands in worship together. We're united. We open the Word together, and we're united in Him. And that's the kind of church family we want to have here at the chapel. It's for everybody.
So we here at the chapel have a heart for people just to be real. We want to hear your stories because we all have a story. And that's what makes us a family here together in the chapel and the family of Jesus Christ. So here at the chapel, we have a passion for people to be real, to be authentic, to share just who they really are. And together we link hands, we link hearts, and we walk each other through that process of life, learning and loving and growing together, no matter where we are in our journey.
At the chapel, we talk about being all about modern worship and timeless truth. And that's just part of who we are. There's really no right or wrong way to do church, but this is who we are. We like modern worship. Now, I grew up in the church, so I've sung all the old hymns. I went through all the choruses of the 80s and 90s. But I just have a heart for what God is saying right now in the hearts of songwriters and how we are worshiping Him in our thoughts right now as modern songwriters write these new songs. So we love the new modern worship, and that's just what we focus on here. Worship is not the Word of God, and it shouldn't be held to the same standard. So worship is always changing, and we're wanting new songs. But when we come to the Word of God, we talk about it being timeless truth. In other words, we're not going to change the Word of God. The Word of God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we'll sing our modern worship songs, but when we open the Word of God, we're not going to change anything about it. We're just going to read it. In fact, our main verse that we talk about when it comes to teaching the Word is Nehemiah 8:8. And it basically says something like this. They opened the book of the law of God, and they read each passage aloud, and they explained each passage clearly so that everyone could understand it. That's what we do when we teach the Word of God. So this blend of modern worship and timeless truth, verse by verse teaching through books of the Bible, we're not the only church that does it, but it is a little bit unique. And so that's who we try to be each and every Sunday here at the chapel.
We'd like for you to come join us here at the chapel. We realize that every church has its own personality, its own feel, and we hope that you'll come through the doors and find a place that you can call home.